Hi guys, I come to you with an absolutely overflowing empties bin. A few things have already fallen on the floor, but I have in here at least 30 products that I've used up. I'm going to share with you my thoughts, whether or not I would repurchase. These are my absolute favorite videos to film. I'm going to try to be concise since it's so many products, but no promises. Let's just get started. I love just going at random, so let's start with what just fell into my lap. This is the Mixsoon Centella Cleansing Foam. This was a very foamy cleanser. This was a cleanser that I designated for shower use because it got so foamy at the sink that it was almost hard to rinse all of it out of like my hairline and stuff. We both really liked it. It definitely lathered up, but it didn't feel stripping at all. Not something I would use if my skin is really, really dry and sensitive, but any other time I thought it was really nice and very effective at cleansing the skin very well. Something I just finished today, and I'm so happy to be done with this. This is the Hair Lab by Strands Nourishing Leave-In Conditioner for Fine Hair. This brand is one of those where you can customize your formula. So this is like the base product, and then there are like these unique doses you can add to create your personalized product, but I just used this as is. I didn't mix anything in. I thought it was fine. Like, it definitely added a little bit of moisture to my hair, but what I found is that I really just prefer leave-in conditioners that contain silicones. Those are the leave-in conditioners that leave my hair feeling just extra silky smooth, and I just didn't get that feeling from this product. So really happy to be done with it, also because the pump stopped working like this far down. So the last like 1/3 of it was really annoying to use up. I went through this pack of Curology emergency spot patches. I would say these are one of my favorite pimple patches that I've tried. They stick on really well. They don't fall off. I like to apply my pimple patches on top of moisturizer. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I can't stand the thought of leaving that one spot without any moisturizer for a whole night or something. Like, I just put a thin layer of moisturizer on, let it sink in, and then I go in with my pimple patch, and I need something that's going to stick on top of that, and this one did. I felt like more so than other pimple patches, these did a good job of actually like extracting gunk from the pimple. So I really enjoyed these. I would get them again. I also really appreciated that they came in only one size, which I like because sometimes I feel like the ones with multiple sizes, they just have a weird amount of like the really tiny size, and I hardly ever use that size. Like, I really just need like the basic size, and this was perfect. The Kristen S Signature Shampoo, I was really enjoying this for a little while in the beginning, but then I started to realize I think this was irritating my scalp because whenever I would use it multiple days in a row, my scalp would get really inflamed and itchy. Kristen S hair products have been really hit or miss for me. Like, their products either work well or they're really bad. Like, there's no in between. This was a hair product I just felt like was totally unnecessary in my routine, so I won't buy it again. This is the Garnier Fructis Sleek and Shine Glass Hair Water. It's one of those lamellar waters that you're supposed to kind of use as like a rinse in your hair after shampooing. So I would usually do it in between shampoo and conditioner, but sometimes I felt like it would leave my hair kind of weighed down and greasy. Other times it didn't. I'd have to be really careful not to use too much of it, but I mean, they tell you to use a ton. Like, they actually have like the doses going down the bottle so you can see how much you're supposed to use each use, but it really depends on how long your hair is and how thick your hair is, so I think that's kind of silly that they have that on there. I didn't feel like it did anything that a good conditioner doesn't already do, so it just didn't end up being necessary for me to repurchase. This hardly ever happens. I hardly ever put non-empty things in my empties, but I just wanted to talk about this. This is the Olaplex No. 5 Bond Maintenance Conditioner, and I am getting rid of this because the cap kept on getting mildew in it, which is really weird because all of our shower products are on the far wall. So our shower is a tub and all our products are in these like suction cup shelves on the far end. So those things aren't getting super wet. They're not sitting in a ton of water or anything. So I was storing this upside down because once you get about halfway down, you kind of just have to store it upside down. It even says keep bottle upside down on cap for easy dispensing, because they know that it's a very thick formula, and honestly this bottle is like not the best for dispensing it. So I was storing it upside down, and I guess because of that some water was getting into the cap and then sitting there, and mildew kept growing. So the first time it started happening, I just took the cap off and cleaned it really well. But then it happened again, like soon after that. I don't want to show you up super close because it's just gross, but there is like some mildew just like around the inside of the cap, and I just feel safer not using this anymore. This was sent to me in PR. I wouldn't buy it myself anyway, just because I feel like there are so many good conditioners at the drugstore, but I wouldn't buy it myself either, knowing that it has this weird problem with a mildewy cap, which is so gross. I feel like I have so many cleansers. I actually have two. I hardly ever have two of the same thing in an Empties, but I have two of the Equate Beauty Hydrating Cleansers. This was actually their old bottle, and then they repackaged it. I think the new bottle looks nice. It's kind of, you know, a little more modern, but they're both the same size, 12 fluid ounces. I love these. It's a CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser dupe, and it's like half the price, just as good in my opinion, and it's just really gentle, really plain, no fragrance. It doesn't lather at all, so it just like really does not disrupt the skin barrier at all. If my skin is like going through a sensitive phase, I can always count on these to not mess with it. So love those. Will repurchase. Right now we have in our shower the Cetaphil Equate dupe, the Cetaphil like gentle cleanser, I think is what it's called. Similar, but honestly to me it feels like kind of a watered down version of this. So I think I would go back to this in the future. This is something that I actually prefer the name brand over the Equate dupe. This is the Panoxyl Acne Foaming Wash with 10% benzoyl peroxide. I use this mainly on my body. I get really bad acne, which is so annoying. I'm still trying to get a handle on it. Contemplating Accutane at this juncture because I'm sick of it. This definitely helps cut down on it. I use it on my underarms. Sometimes I just skip deodorant because it really cuts down on body odor. And it also helps with folliculitis, which I sometimes get on my underarms after I shave. But the reason I like this one more than the Equate dupe is because I feel like the name brand actually lasts us so much longer. I think the Equate one only comes in a non-foaming version, and this is the foaming version. Panoxyl also makes a non-foaming version, but I just find that this foaming Panoxyl lasts like twice as long as the Equate non-foaming one. I just think it's worth the few extra dollars to get the name brand because it just goes so much farther. Sometimes if I'm breaking out a lot on my face, I'll use it just in the areas that I'm breaking out on my face. I'll just kind of let it sit for like a minute and then rinse it off. You just want to make sure that you rinse this off really, really well. You might even go in with the separate like body wash afterwards because it can bleach your towels if you don't rinse it really, really well. And sometimes you think you've rinsed it, but it's somehow still like lingering on there. Cleanser that I didn't love is the Kopari Marine Clean Purifying Gel Cleanser. I just felt like this was a little bit drying and stripping on my face. Just not my preferred type of cleanser, but if you have like really oily skin, maybe you would enjoy this. I ended up just using this up as a hand soap, and it actually worked really well as a hand soap. Not that I would buy this specifically for that, but it was good for a hand wash. I loved this cleansing oil from iUnique. This is probably one of my top favorite first cleanse products. The key with this is I have to use 2 pumps every time I use it. 1 pump is not enough to get all my makeup off, so I use 2 pumps and that's perfect. It emulsifies with water, so it rinses away with water. I don't have to go in with like a makeup eraser, cloth, or anything to get everything off. It just does a great job breaking down makeup. I always use a second cleanser after this to really remove anything that might be left behind, but I don't really feel like it leaves any sort of residue on my skin either. So yeah, really love this. I would definitely get it again. I think that's all the cleansers. I feel like this was a very cleanser heavy Empties. This is kind of a cleansing type product. It's the Koki Aqua Micellar Cleansing Foam. I don't use micellar waters on my face. I just prefer cleansing oils or balms to remove makeup, but I do use this kind of thing a lot for when I'm filming, when I'm swatching things. If I'm swatching a bunch of things on my arm, this is amazing for removing it because I can just pump it out. It literally comes out in a foam. I just pump it onto my arm and then take one of these cloths and wipe it away, and it works like a charm. So I honestly really enjoyed this. I did get this in PR and I just ended up using it up that way, but I don't know. If I saw this in store, I would pick it up. I wouldn't like place an order online just to get this, you know, but it was really helpful for that. A hair product I finished that I actually really grew to enjoy was the Tresemme Heat Protection Spray. This has been around for ages. I remember using this in middle school when I would straighten my hair almost every day, and I don't think they've changed it because it feels and smells exactly the same as I remember it. It works really well. What I like about it is that it's not oily at all. A lot of heat protectant type products are either kind of oily or creamy, and I just want a liquid. I want to spray a liquid onto my hair that's going to dry. It's not going to leave a film. It's not going to weigh my hair down or make it like clump together and get oily. I just need something very lightweight, but that I can apply generously to my hair so that every strand can be protected, because that's something I learned actually from Abby Young. I love her videos for learning about hair care. And one thing that she really stresses the importance of is thoroughly applying any sort of heat protectant to all sections of your hair. So really taking the time to like go section by section and really get it, you know, not just on the top part of your hair, but underneath and all those little back sections, because you want all of your hair to be protected. So I really like that I could use a generous amount of it and then it wouldn't weigh down my hair. The only thing I didn't love about this was the scent. I kind of wish that Tresemme would upgrade their fragrance a little bit, because they've been using that same fragrance in their products forever. I can overlook that because the product itself is really good and it's really affordable. So I definitely might repurchase this in the future. Right now I'm using the one from Not Your Mother's. It's the one in their Bond Repair line, but it's like the heat protectant. That one, I don't know, I don't think I like it as much as this one actually. I might very well go back to this in the future. Something Nathan used up, this is the Glow Recipe Pomegranate Peptide Firming Serum. He loves a lot of Glow Recipe products, but this one not so much. He said he felt like it would pill up on his skin, and he said he didn't really feel like he knew what it did for his skin. So maybe not like a must-have from Glow Recipe. I used up the Kinship Bright Wave Energizing and Brightening Eye Cream, really fun bright yellow jar. I am so impartial when it comes to eye creams. I feel like they all just do the same thing, but I continue to use them. It gave me some moisture to that area. I didn't feel like it did anything drastic beyond that, but it, you know, it worked. I probably wouldn't get it again just because I'm always interested in trying new things in this kind of category, but it was fun to try. This I really didn't care for. I do not think this is worth the money. This is like a $70-something night cream. It's the Medicate Advanced Night Ceramide Signature Night Cream. I really enjoyed the Medicate Retinol serum that they make, but this I did not care for. It has a really strong like herbal scent that I don't love. It kind of smells like rosemary. The first time I used this, it stung my face so badly. And I don't know if I was just like already dealing with an impaired skin barrier, but this certainly did not help, and I felt like my skin was just in a really bad place for like several days after that. So I ended up just using this up as a neck cream. It didn't irritate my neck at all. My neck really isn't that sensitive, I don't think, so I used it up that way. It had a really nice texture, very rich and buttery. I enjoyed the feel of it, but yeah, it was like too extreme for my face, I think. I finished up one of my all-time favorite sunscreens. This is the Iunique Centella Calming Daily Sunscreen, probably the second or third of these that I've used up. Absolutely love this, especially if you have sensitive skin or dry skin. It is just so lovely. There's no white cast. It's very moisturizing, but not heavy, and wears well under makeup. I love it. It's amazing and it's very affordable. So if you haven't tried this yet and you're still on the hunt for a good sunscreen, I highly recommend it. We used up 2 Dove body washes. I really liked both of these, but I especially liked this one. This is the Night Recovery Retinol Serum Body Cleanser. Very confusing name. Like, we shouldn't be putting the word serum in any sort of cleanser name, you know? That's just confusing. Also, at first I was like, you know, I feel like the retinol thing's kind of gimmicky because this is just a rinse-off product. It probably is, but at the same time, I swear, when we switched... Sorry, I feel like I'm not showing the front of it. When we switched to this one, I felt like my body skin immediately got so much softer than usual. Like, when I would like feel my arms, I didn't have any like dryness or texture like I feel like I usually do. Just, you know, dryness and texture that you get on your body. It like completely went away, and the only thing I changed was that I started using this body wash. So I don't know, maybe there's something to the whole retinol serum within the cleanser thing, but really enjoyed this. It was so creamy. Like all Dove body washes, they all have that almost like lotiony feel as you pump them out. It smelled really nice too, like just a really nice, clean, soft fragrance. I really enjoyed this. Would love to repurchase this. And then I didn't love this one quite as much, but I still enjoyed it. This is the one we were using prior to that retinol one. So my skin definitely improved with the other one after using this one. But this is the Dove Pampering Shea Butter and Vanilla Body Wash. The body washes that come in these bottles from them are so creamy and thick. Really nice texture. I really enjoy them. And this one, I don't know, I didn't love the scent of it. I felt like it was just kind of generic. I don't know, I mean, it's a nice scent, but a little too much for me. Like, it's just like a lot. But the body wash itself, really nice. Very creamy, very nourishing. I do feel like more so than other body washes, the Dove ones leave my skin feeling more hydrated. So yeah, I feel like I've become pretty loyal to Dove body washes now. I absolutely love these body lotions, but I hate the packaging. This is the EOS Shea Better 24-Hour Moisture Body Lotion, and this is the fragrance-free one. Right now we have the vanilla cashmere one. That's my favorite. This is a really nice thick body lotion. I think the problem is they shouldn't be putting such a thick body lotion in a pump bottle. It should be in a squeeze tube or a tub, but the pump basically stops working like when you get to this point and you have so much left. And the problem is, because it's such a thick formula, the tube of the pump that goes all the way down in there, it's not that it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, because it does. The problem is the lotion is so thick that it creates a sort of hole as you continue pumping it in the middle, so there's nothing more for that straw to reach and pull up. It's all like around it on the sides, and you have to kind of like shake it and like do all sorts of crazy stuff to get it out. Nathan resorted to adding water to it, which I thought was so funny. I would really love for EOS to put these lotions in a squeeze tube, please. That would be so amazing. Just sucks when you love a product so much but you hate the packaging. Absolutely loved this. Will definitely repurchase it. It's the Tree Hut Tropic Glow Moisturizing Shave Oil. I love a shave oil for my legs. This one smells so good too. This is the one that's supposed to be like a Sol de Janeiro dupe. It does smell very similar, and I feel like this scent, I've had this scent in a few products. I think I've had the body wash, maybe the body scrub as well, but I feel like this shave oil smells like even better than the other products in this line of this scent. It's just such a warm, nutty, cozy scent. We both really loved this. And the nice thing about this is that it's not technically like a pure oil. The actual oils aren't until you get about halfway down the list. Then there's pistachio seed oil, jojoba seed oil, etc. So it does have oils in it, but it's not a straight oil. So the nice thing about it is it almost comes out as more of like a gel. It doesn't make your shower floor slippery, yet it gives your razor just the smoothest glide. I really prefer this over like shaving foams. I don't know, I hate using those for some reason. They really gunk up the razor. That's the other nice thing about this. It doesn't gunk up the razor. It's really easy to rinse out, and it just makes the whole shaving experience so much faster, so much more enjoyable. I hate shaving, so anything that can make it more enjoyable, I am all about. So really loved this. Huge fan. Ooh, another thing from iUnique, this Nathan used up, and this is the second one of these he's used up. It's their Centella Calming Gel Cream. This actually comes out like a sort of translucent gel, so it's not quite heavy enough for my skin. I like a really rich moisturizer, but Nathan loves really lightweight moisturizers, and he really enjoys this one. Nathan also used up the Paula's Choice Ceramide Enriched Firming Eye Cream. I think I also used this a few times in the beginning. I think we both liked this. I don't know why, I've kind of gotten away from using retinol eye creams just because I feel like since I already used tretinoin on my face, it's just too much and I don't want to irritate my eyes. He used it on both his eye area and his face, and I don't think he had any complaints about it. He definitely likes incorporating some kind of retinol into his routine, so I've been giving him some to try. I feel like we had this in our bathroom for so long, so I'm really glad to see it's finally finished. It comes with a lot of product, 0.5 fluid ounces. I guess that's a standard amount for an eye cream. Never mind. I don't know. It just feels like a really huge amount. I also used up this mini of the Isntree Purple Protector Onion New Pair Sunscreen. It has SPF 40. Didn't love this. It was very greasy. I much prefer the Isntree Onion Fresh Fluid Sun Cream that comes in more of like a bottle rather than a squeeze tube. Love that one. So much better than this one in my opinion. Okay, and now we are down to some makeup empties. I actually have quite a few makeup empties to share, which is so exciting. I did use up the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This really does work at keeping your makeup in place for long days, hot days, humid days. This is a great option. It's not the only setting spray that works, but it is one of the OG classics, I think, for a reason. It's just a good product. So I don't know if I would repurchase this anytime soon, but if I'm ever in need of a good one and it was on sale, I would certainly pick it up. This is the only mascara I've ever seen that had a 3-month shelf life. Usually they have on the period after opening symbol 6 months. Every mascara I've seen says 6 months, but this is the only one I've ever seen that said 3 months, and it's the 100% pure fruit pigmented mascara. It says it's supposed to be ultra lengthening, and I had the shade Black Tea. I think they have discontinued this, but I didn't care for this one. First of all, it smells like blueberry muffins, which that I enjoyed. I think it smells really lovely. It gave a nice natural look to the lashes, nothing too dramatic, but it did transfer and smudge on me, so I would not get this again, even if it were still available. I've completely switched over to tubing mascaras, and I don't think I will ever look back. I had to retire my Ardell Brow Glue Instant Lamination Lift because I dropped the wand on the floor. One of you commented and said that I could have just washed the wand, and I don't know why I didn't think of that. But I put the wand back in before I could have done that, so it is no longer, but I think this was on its last leg anyway. It says it has a 6-month shelf life, and I definitely had it open and was using it almost daily for like almost a full year. I decided to retire it but still count it as an empty just because I used it so much, and I think it was about time to retire it anyway. But I really loved this brow glue. I'm actually working on a brow glue showdown right now, and I'm thinking about repurchasing this one just so that I can have it for that video. This is a really good brow glue. And if you want something that actually laminates your brows and like flattens them completely, this is the product for you. The only thing is you really have to apply it to clean brows. You don't want to have any like skincare or makeup in your brows when you put this in, or else it will get that kind of white cast to it. You kind of get those little white flakes with it. So as long as you apply it as like the first step of your makeup routine, you're fine. But you know, it does run the risk of that cast, even though it is super, super effective at laminating your brows. So yeah, it's kind of a toss-up. Like if you're willing to put up with a high maintenance product, I think it's really good, but stay tuned for my brow glue showdown because I think I've found some things I like better already. Another thing that I have decided to retire, even though I could keep using it, but it's so old and I've used it a ton, it's the Annabelle Eye Ink Liquid Eyeliner Duo in brown. So it just has 2 different shaped tips on either side. So this one's longer and this one's shorter. I don't know, I used this for a long time. I thought it was okay, but sometimes it would kind of like stain my skin and turn it green. But outside of that, I didn't have any issues with it smudging or smearing or anything like that. Stayed in place well for me, but I don't necessarily need like the most waterproof eyeliner ever. And I felt like the felt tips were really easy to work with to get like a nice sharp line. But I definitely am enjoying the Fenty Fly Liner a lot more. Also, you can only get this in Canada, but even if I could buy it more easily, I don't think I would repurchase it. I used up a lip liner as well. This is the BK Beauty Everlast Lip Liner in Warm Spice. I actually mainly used this up as a blush because I really like this type of shade as a blush more than as a lip color. I do enjoy these BK Beauty lip liners. I think they're really nice and smooth and creamy. They have the kind of angled tip as well, so they're really easy to draw on. It's not something I would go out of my way to repurchase. It's not like a top favorite formula. I'm really just into the wooden pencil lip liners currently, so not so much into the retractable ones, but really happy to have finished this up. I also used up a primer, which is so exciting, even though it is just a mini. It took a while anyway. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm not a big primer person, but I did feel like this actually did something. Like it would really smooth and blur out any areas where I have large pores, and I felt like my makeup would lay really nicely on top of it. So if you do like to incorporate a primer in your makeup routine, I think this was a good one for smoothing and pore filling. Obviously, it's not going to make you look like you have no pores, but it does smooth things out really nicely. I liked it, but I wouldn't repurchase it myself because I'm trying to move away from primers. And I have one last thing. I'm retiring this mini sponge that came in last year's Makeup Revolution advent calendar. I think it's a mini version of their regular sponge that they sell, and I actually really liked it. It's kind of small compared to most sponges. Obviously when you get it wet it does expand a little bit, but it's still nice and small and precise. I use it for foundation, but I like the kind of precise application that I get with it. I wish they would sell this normally, but I did get another one of these, a black one, in this year's advent calendar that I'm using now. Very happy to have that one. So I did enjoy this. If it is the same as their regular size sponge, then I'm sure that one I would like as well. That, I think, is going to conclude this empties video. That was everything. I know it was a lot, so thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you would like to go above and beyond in supporting my channel, I do also have a Patreon and a channel membership where I upload exclusive bonus content. Huge shout out to all of my current patrons and channel members. Thank you all so much for your support. Huge shout out to all of my current patrons and channel members. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!